Hi students of grade 11. I have compiled practice questions that will challenge your understanding. I encourage you to watch the video, try out the questions presented in the video, and then showcase your brilliance by sharing your answers in the comment section below. Don't forget to include your name and your father's name initial to personalize your responses. Or for that extra touch of personalization, just include your name as well as your father's name initial. Without any further ado, let's dive in and conquer those challenges one question at a time. Question number 1. What is the valid rate expression for the following reaction? And the reaction is given here. Question number 2. Increase in temperature of rate of a given reaction is due to the increase in the A. Extent of molecular dissociation, B. Activation energy of the reaction, C. Frequency of collision of the reacting species, or D. Numerical value of the rate constant of the reaction. So choose the correct answer based on your understanding of temperature's impact on reaction rate. Remember, one of the factors that affect rate of reaction is temperature, right? So just answer the question based on the fact that or based on your understanding of temperature's impact on reaction rates. Question number 3. Which factors will influence the rate of the reaction shown below? So the reaction is given here. So choose the correct answer from these 3 choices. Is it the number of collisions per second, or is it the energy of the collisions, or is it the geometry with which the molecules collide that affect this rate of reaction, or the rate of the reaction? Question number 3. Which factors will influence the rate of the reaction shown below? For the reaction that is displayed here, which factor or factors will influence the rate of reaction? Is it the number of collisions per second? Is it the energy of the collisions, or the geometry with which the molecules collide? So to answer this question, you have to remember the factors that should be fulfilled for a chemical reaction to occur. Question number 4. Ammonium nitrate decomposes in solution as shown here. So here is the reaction. The concentration of ammonium ion at the beginning of the experiment was about 0.5 molar. After 3 hours, it was 0.432 molar. So the question is, what is the instantaneous rate of decomposition of ammonia at 30 minutes? So question number 5 says, in a certain chemical reaction, for every 10 degrees Celsius rise in temperature, the rate is doubled. If the temperature is increased from 10 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius, what happens to the rate of the reaction? So imagine you are conducting a reaction in a lab where for every 10 degrees Celsius increase in temperature, the rate of the reaction doubles. Now let us suppose the temperature is increased from 10 degrees Celsius to 100 degrees Celsius. What will happen to the rate of the reaction is a question. For the reaction given here, the rate of disappearance of hydrogen is 0.01. And you are asked to calculate the rate of appearance of ammonia. If we increase the concentration of a reactant, what happens to the collision between particles is the question. That means if you were to increase the concentration of a reactant in a chemical reaction, what do you think happens to the collision between particles? A. There are more collisions. B. There are fewer collisions. C. There are the same numbers of collisions but they have less energy. And D. There are the same numbers of collisions but they have more energy. Question number 8. It has been observed with one variety of paint that the rate of paint drying can be drastically increased by adding small amount of accelerant. Based on what you know about catalysts, is it reasonable to think of this accelerant as being a catalyst? Explain. It has been observed that more gas station fires occur on hot days than on cold days. Explain this phenomenon using your knowledge of collision theory. Here is a hint. It's not just the temperature increase that causes this fire. Describe how the activation energy of a reaction affects the overall rate of chemical reaction. What two factors determine whether a collision between two reactant molecules will result in reaction? In the reaction of nitrogen oxide with hydrogen, which is given here, if the rate of disappearance of nitrogen monoxide is 5 times 10 to the power of minus 5, then what is the rate of formation of nitrogen? Give 3 ways of increasing rate of reaction. Just think of the factors that affect the rate of reaction and come up with 3 factors that increase rate of reaction. How can the rate of reaction be measured? Think of the different ways on how the rate of reaction can be measured, and just mention 2 or 3 ways by which rate of reactions can be measured. Write the equation for the reaction between calcium carbonate and hydrogen chloride and explain how the rate of this reaction is measured. What happens to the rate of reaction for gaseous reactants if you increase the pressure? If you increase the pressure of gaseous reactants, what do you think happens to the rate of reaction? What happens if you use a powder in the reaction between calcium carbonate and dilute hydrochloric acid? Express the rate of reaction for the reaction written here in terms of hydrogen and in terms of hydrogen iodide. Given the reaction, express the rate of reaction in terms of the concentration of nitrosyl chloride and relate this to the rate of formation of each of the products. Very simple. Question number 20. Write the reaction rate expressions for the following reactions in terms of disappearance of the reactants as well as appearance of the products for each of these 2 reactions. Iron 3 chloride is reduced by tin 2 chloride as shown here. The concentration of iron plus 3 iron at the beginning of an experiment was about 0.03586 molar. After 4 minutes, it was 0.02638 molar. What is the average rate of the reaction of iron 3 chloride in this time interval? Question number 23. Which of the following expressions is correct for the rate of reaction given below? And the reaction is written here, and they are asked to write the correct rate of reaction for the reaction. Using the idea of factors that affect rate of reaction. Explain why I decided to forbid you from drinking water in class or in the lab. Thank you for watching.